Okay, hi there and welcome everyone. We are really excited to have an opportunity to share with you this afternoon and share a little bit about what's going on in Southeast Tennessee in our region of the state. And wanted to just share a little bit of some historical context, some emerging opportunities, and then really wanted to spend some of our time this afternoon learning from you and engaging with you at least through Padlet, so we can learn a little bit more about how we might better serve you in our region. So for those of you that don't know me, I'm Michael Stone. I'm the Vice President of Innovative Learning for the Public Education Foundation here in Chattanooga, and we serve as a regional lead for TSIN, for the Southeast Tennessee STEM Hub, and have just really appreciated the partnership with TSIN and the State of Tennessee Department of Education, the opportunity to provide access to resources, to professional development and training, and really just to engage with teachers and administrators across our region as we work to bring STEM education to all students and to do so effectively. We had an opportunity last night to engage with our partners in Hamilton County Schools. We hosted a dinner, kind of a live dinner during the summit's virtual dinner, and it was just wonderful to start to feel like we had some sense of normalcy starting to bounce back from the pandemic, and to re-engage as we celebrated all of the schools across the state that earned STEM designation. And it was really exciting to see the number of schools from Southeast Tennessee that were represented and called out and acknowledged there. So this is a little bit of an unusual forum for us in that we can't really see you. It's not like Zoom where we can kind of have a give and take, and ordinarily we'd like for this kind of experience to not be me talking at you. So we're going to do a little bit. We're going to try to ask you to jump into Padlet so we can at least get some sort of engagement going on the back end this afternoon, just so that we can have a little bit of back and forth there. But I apologize on the front end. Obviously, we would love to do something hands-on and really engage with you, but this is the era we're in right now. So want to call your attention to a few programs that are available and some opportunities that are coming up in our region. First, just want to talk about our STEM Fellows. You can learn all about all of these. I've got the website down there at the bottom left corner. Excuse me. You can learn all about the programs that we'll share about today down there, and learn more about application windows. Our STEM Fellows program we retooled 2 years ago to continue to help educators cultivate a STEM mindset where they develop as instructional experts, as teacher leaders, and as community connectors. And then 2 years ago, what we did, we took that model and layered on top of it directly supporting schools that are pursuing STEM designation. So we've put together really strategic plan to guide teachers and school administrators through the designation process so that schools can really work through a collaborative effort, both engaging their community as well as other schools, to learn more about some best practices regarding STEM designation, and to really help provide that kind of wraparound support that's necessary for schools as you're pursuing the designation. It is a rigorous process, and as such, it really is a catalyst for transformation in your schools, and we've been excited about what that's looked like. STEM Fellows is a regional program. It's funded by the Benwood Foundation out of Chattanooga, but it is a regional program that serves all of the school districts across Southeast Tennessee. We've had reach really across the entire region. So the application window is closed for the current cohort, but we start recruiting for that. We open applications usually in late January, early February. So please do follow us on social and subscribe to our newsletter, and just frequent the website so that you can stay informed. But we would love to have teachers from across our community apply and be a part of that program in the future. Next is the VWE Labs. I won't talk as much about this. This is the digital fabrication labs that we've been helping lead in partnership with Hamilton County Schools, Volkswagen Group of America, and the State of Tennessee Department of Economic and Community Development since 2017. These labs have continued to grow in Hamilton County Schools. Hamilton County Schools now is home to the world's largest concentration of school-based fab labs, and by August will be home to the largest concentration of fab labs anywhere in the world. We are excited about some ongoing conversations with TSIN and the state to start to provide resources, access, opportunities, and support for schools outside of the Hamilton County region who are interested in bringing digital fabrication to your students. In fact, we've been talking with several districts in our TSIN Southeast Tennessee STEM footprint to really think about how we can leverage what we've started to build in Southeast Tennessee and some of this work that has gained notoriety from organizations like the Fab Foundation at MIT to really think about how we can scale this and provide the access to these kinds of opportunities to students all over the state. So we don't have an application ready for this yet. We're still working on a handful of funding mechanisms and partnerships there, but just wanted to share, I know several of you, we have engaged you in other ways in digital fabrication work in the past, and just wanted to let you know we are actively working to provide opportunities to bring digital fabrication to communities beyond Hamilton County, and would love to pioneer and start piloting that work, the scale up of that work across the Southeast Tennessee region, and then of course working with TSIM, being able to capitalize on the full reach across the state in all of the STEM hubs provides a really excellent opportunity to take advantage of that network. Finally, in terms of programming, I just wanted to make all of you aware, we recently announced a brand new fellowship called Innovative Educator Fellows. Innovative Educator Fellows is a new program from PEF that's going to be offered to educators across the country, but starting in Southeast Tennessee. So this year we've opened applications. You have about a week and a half left to apply. If you're interested, you can see the website there on your screen. For more information, you can go there, but just wanted to give you a quick synopsis of what we're working to do. We recognize that Tennessee is a leader in STEM education, and we recognize that in particular our region has some of the most innovative, forward-thinking educators, teacher leaders, school administrators, system leaders that represent this work and that are really pioneering innovative strategies to level the playing field and bring equitable access to incredible learning opportunities for all students. So the idea for Innovative Educator Fellows was birthed out of this notion that that iron sharpens iron, that amazing things happen when we create a collective effort, when we come together and collaborate together with like-minded individuals who are prepared to blend instructional, cultural competency, and leadership strategies that result in the design, deployment, and sharing, and even scaling, hopefully, of innovative educational practices. So as we think about for Innovative Educator Fellows, what we're really looking for are those teachers, those school leaders who have started to make an impact in your sphere of influence and are really starting to think about how do we really level the playing field, not by reducing the ceiling, but by raising the floor. How do we make sure that the learning strategies that we're bringing to our school, whether that's through community partnerships, whether that's through industry-aligned project-based learning or standards-aligned PBL, how are we putting students in a situation where we're eliminating all possible barriers? We're putting students in a situation where they can be prepared for the best success possible, where they can meet the workforce demands of today while preparing for the workforce demands of tomorrow. So Innovative Educator Fellows will kick off with a week-long summer institute. It'll be July 19th through the 23rd this summer. Then during that institute, we're bringing in national speakers and thought leaders in education and innovative leadership strategies from across the country. They'll run half-day sessions that are topical on topics ranging from embedding digital fabrication in your school, cultivating a constructivist learning mindset, to innovative leadership practices and designing for cultural competency and engaging your community and celebrating diversity in your school. So wide range of topics. And the goal is to use that week of the Summer Institute to inform the educators that are participating in the fellowship of ideas, to just spark thoughts and get the mind kind of spinning so we can start to think about, I've done some amazing work in this lane, but there's a new way to think about this, or what if we put these two things together? We could have a expanded impact, or an exponentially larger impact in our school and maybe even beyond our school as we work together. So as a result of the Summer Institute, we expect educators to group into teams. That may be teams of 2 or 4 or 6. We want to let that be an organic process. And as they group into teams, they're going to identify a educational initiative, an innovative initiative that they want to pilot within their school, their community, their classroom. And as they start to pilot it, they're committing to capturing and identifying and capturing KPIs, so key performance indicators. How do you know that this initiative that you're piloting is working? What's the impact you expect it to have, and how are we going to assess that? And as we capture those KPIs, the team at PEF is going to work with the fellows to start to conduct some base level foundational research across the entire school year. So throughout the 2021-2022 school year, fellows will meet virtually for half-day sessions monthly. And they'll work with our team. We'll continue to provide professional learning and professional development by convening and collaborating with thought leaders from across the state and across the country. But we also want to make sure that this cohort is working together so that as we're launching these innovative initiatives, we're learning alongside each other, and we're able to share ideas and really start to cultivate this PLC. One of the things we're really excited about, I mentioned at the beginning, is that Innovative Educator Fellows is going to be a national initiative. We've partnered with the Grable Foundation out of Pittsburgh. We're working to spread this opportunity across the entire Appalachia region. And we expect by the second cohort to have 30 local educators and then 30 non-local or non-Hamilton County educators as well. We have already opened up and we'll start that expansion this year. So would encourage you, even if you're not in Hamilton County, to consider applying. But please do reach out to me by email. You'll see my email address on the website there. Please reach out to me by email before you apply. I need to coordinate with you in your district so we can make sure that we've got all the right agreements in place and are able to provide that support. But I'll stop rambling about that. It is something we are very excited about. It's been a long time in production, and we're very excited to bring this to our region, and we look forward to hearing from many of you as hopefully you're able to share this with your colleagues at your schools, and would love to see some applications coming in the next, this year and also for next year. Again, those applications are open now, so we'd love to have you apply immediately. Next to last, wanted to share briefly about the technology lending library that we run through the hub. This lending library is stocked with about $250,000 worth of instructional technology, anything ranging from microbits and physical computing components to elementary, middle school, and high school robotics to virtual reality to 3D printers and 3D pens. It's kind of an amalgamation of technology that we have available. This is all because of our partnership with TSIN, and want to say thank you to them for that continued support. The lending library has impacted hundreds of classrooms over the last few years. We were excited a couple of years ago to launch it as a virtual checkout system. So now everything is accessible online. And if you visit the website listed there, all of these items are available to anyone in Southeast Tennessee, any teacher in Southeast Tennessee. We would love to coordinate with you. We're happy to make arrangements to get these items to you, regardless of where you're at. We're not going to ask you to drive to Chattanooga. We've lent items as far north as like Lenoir City. We do a lot in Bradley County and Cleveland, lent some to Marion County. So regardless of where you're at in our region, we would love to work with you, to share these items with you. And as necessary, we would love to come out and provide some training for you and your teachers. We do professional development in schools all over the region. And if there's some technology that you see in the lending library, for instance, that you would love to use but aren't exactly sure what to do with it in your classroom or how to use it to impact student learning, we would love for you to reach out. Please follow the prompts on the website there. You can reach out, and we'd be happy to come out and provide professional development for you free of charge to work with you and your teachers so that you can start to think about how you might reimagine how you change student learning experiences when you have access to some of the emergent technology that's in this lending library. So that was a lot of words. I want to pause just a second and circle back and say, if you are interested at all in checking out equipment, you can check it out for essentially as much time as you need. Visit the link there on the screen. It's pefinnovationhub.org/lending-library. And just follow the prompts on the website. You'll have to make an account. It's a free account, and everything that we have available is well inventoried. And as stuff is checked out, the availability updates automatically, so you can really easily track what's available when stuff is going to be available, and make plans. So as you think about the 21-22 school year, we'd love to have you have even more usage of the library. Obviously, things slowed down a bit during the pandemic, but in the 19-20 school year, we were excited. We had checked out items to more than 300 teachers, and for the most part, our library was empty because all of the technology was checked out and being used all year, which is exactly what we want to do. So the Technology Lending Library at PEF, we'd love to share that with you. Have one more slide to kind of ramble at you to share one last exciting opportunity. And then we're going to ask you to visit a Padlet page. Just want to try to garner a little bit of feedback from those of you that are participating today. So I will move on to the next slide here and share. We are excited to announce that we're hosting the Chattanooga Fab Institute one more time this year. The annual institute we had to cancel last year because of the pandemic. But because of the partnership with Volkswagen, the Fab Institute is completely free. So if you go to the website and try to register, you'll see there's a nominal fee. I believe it's about $40 is what it shows. But if you'll use code STEM21 there at the bottom, code STEM21, it does have to be all capitalized. It will make the registration completely free. And just a tip, if you decide to register, in the top left corner before you select your tickets, there's a little bit of text that says use promo code. So when you go to the registration page, don't put in credit card information. You should be able to use the promo code and make it free. Please feel free to email me or my team, and we'd be happy to work with you if you have any issues figuring out where to put the code in. It's a little bit unusual. It's not a typical streamlined promo code where you would expect it to be in other checkout systems. Wanted to give you a quick overview of what this is. So the Fab Institute is a pretty unique teacher conference. We invite teachers and school administrators to come for 3 days, June 28th through the 30th. We spend all 3 days working in the Hamilton County and the HCS and the VWE labs across our community. It is a hands-on conference. We don't spend time talking about pedagogy or instructional strategies or facilitation strategies. We literally just spend time in the labs, making stuff. So it is a very hands-on learning experience. What we try to do is put you in the role of the student, but we accelerate everything. So what a student would accomplish in 6 months in the lab, you accomplish in 3 days. The theme this year is a big secret, but I can tell you in years past, we've built crazy lamps and really unusual and innovative clocks. And just done all kinds of different kind of fun and engaging work in the labs. So if you're somebody that's sort of interested in the maker movement, in technology, but maybe not super experienced with 3D printing or laser cutting or microcomputing, or even if I said words you don't even recognize just now, this is a perfect opportunity for you. You'll notice when you go to the website, you can sign up for one of 2 tracks. We have a beginner track, and that's where we just assume you basically have zero experience with any of this technology. And then we have an advanced track where maybe you've done some things with some of it, but others is a little bit new. We have a collection of eLab teachers who will be facilitating along with some student volunteers who will join us as well to provide support. We'll have a 3-to-1 teacher or mentor ratio to participants. So we would love to have you. And then for school administrators, you're welcome to attend the entire event. Every year we have about a dozen or so school administrators that come and participate and just want to use the tools and want to get their hands dirty and engage in that way. But on the third day, Dr. Tony Donan, the founding principal of Chattanooga STEM School Chattanooga, and Mr. Jim David, the assistant principal there, who's been the two of them have just been visionaries and have really pioneered this digital fabrication movement in our region, and really they're recognized as national leaders in this work. They're going to be hosting a leadership day. So while the rest of the participants work through the third day of the Institute, they're going to take school administrators on a journey where you'll see some of the work in action in the Institute. You'll get to engage with principals who have had Fab Labs in their schools now for 3 or 4 or 5 years. And then Dr. Donan and Jim are going to spend some time with the administrators that attend the leadership day. They're going to spend some time with you in the afternoon, really helping you get a sense of not just what's possible, but as an administrator, how do you coach the teachers that are running these labs, and how do you leverage a digital fabrication lab or an advanced maker space? How do you leverage that to really catalyze school change and to bring an even more authentic experience with STEM learning to your school, to your students, and even engaging with your community. So we would love to have you apply. All of the information, the registration, everything is available there on the website. VW Labs, I'm sorry, that should say VWE Labs, I apologize. VWELabs.org/chatfab. Again, that's VWELabs.org/chatfab. And please use code STEM21 if you're interested in attending. They'll provide free registration for you. That is open to educators anywhere in the country, so feel free to share. We have a number of folks coming in from Indiana, from Wisconsin, from New England, so would love to have you share that and come and join us. Okay, for our last bit this afternoon, we wanted to close with an opportunity to really hear from you, and because the platform here doesn't allow us to engage in like video Zoom style conversation, wanted to just give you an opportunity to give us some feedback through Padlet. So I believe our moderator is going to be able to share a link. Kyle, are you able to share that link? Okay. I tell you what, 1 second and we'll fix this. Yes, but I need to get them a link. It's okay. I'll just relaunch my shared window in 1 second. Except they won't be able to click on this, will they? I apologize. I'm trying to figure out a workaround here in the platform to be able to share this Padlet link with you. I think I have an idea. It'll just take 1 second. No. Okay, I'm going to share my screen one more time, and hopefully this will work. Apologize for the ugly slide here, but hopefully you can see that. So if you go to bit.ly, that's bit.ly/TSIN Summit, that's going to take you to a Padlet. I'd love for you to just take a few minutes and fill this in. I'm going to try to be quiet so you can think and gather your thoughts there, but I've put a few questions in there for you and would love to have you just address. I think there's 4 questions there. We'd love to have you address these questions for you. As we turn our eyes on sort of exiting the pandemic, we really want to get your feedback on how we can best serve you and what kind of professional development, what kind of you would like, what kind of technology you would like access to in the lending library. So we'd love to gather your feedback there. Hopefully this will work this way. So bit.ly/TSIN Summit. And I'll give you just a few minutes there to maybe get that tab open and jump in and provide some feedback. Okay, great. Okay, thank you all for taking the time to fill out the Padlet. There's lots of stuff coming in there. This is super helpful. This will help me bring this back to our team, and I appreciate the thoughtful responses. This just helps us make sure that we can cater what we're doing to better serve you and meet the needs in our region. So thank you for that. I wanted to just share one last bit here before we close out. I was prompted by one of the responses that I saw. So we've been asked for a couple of years, we've tried to figure out how to curate curriculum or some sort of like project starters for the different technologies that are in the lending library. We've done a number of innovative educator workshops in partnership with TSIN to provide some like foundational training around the equipment. We'll continue to do that. We'll have an announcement launching a lot more of that in late August, early September this coming fall. But I wanted to just share with you all, we've recently begun working, started this through the eLab network in Hamilton County Schools, but we're going to be able to scale this out through a website and a mobile application. It will, at least for the time being, be entirely free. Our goal is to never have to commercialize it, but to keep it free for teachers and schools. It's going to have a number of incredible features, including like a student portfolio tracker, a way for you to provide formative and summative feedback for students as they engage in some deep projects. But what I wanted to share most immediate for that, there's going to be a teacher resource component to this website and application. We expect this to be able to be, hopefully the beta should be out in 1st of August, I should say early to late August, and it should go completely live by early October. We're working with a software developer out of Cleveland, Ohio on that. The piece in the teacher resources that I wanted to share that's particularly relevant to the feedback we just gathered from you about the lending library is we've had a number of teachers starting to work on this. Our goal is to end up with a repository of somewhere around 1,000 starters. We've made some good progress, but we're going to continue reaching out or begin reaching out through the region, through the hub, and would love to have educators across Southeast Tennessee and eventually across the state contributing to these and adding some thoughts. I'm going to share one last screen with you here, and instead of a slide, this is going to be a PDF. I wanted you to see a quick sample of what I'm talking about. So we're making these one-page, we're calling them project starters. So rather than a full curricular unit, it's just a simple project starter that's built around a singular piece of technology. So as you can see there, hopefully on your screen, I'm trying to watch both pieces here and see what all you can see. This would be for like the 3D pins that we have available in the lending library. And what we're doing is we're providing, trying to provide integrated like ideas. So we want to give you, the teachers, just enough of an idea to go, oh, I kind of see what I could do with this. This is a way that I could help, students engage in a deeper way with, in this particular case, this would be like an ELA unit, probably in elementary school. If you read, this is about making Rapunzel's tower. And so students can 3D draw their version of the tower. What we're trying to provide is a quick snapshot for teachers to be able to look and see, what are the supplies I need? How long will this take? What's my setup and time frame? What do I need to do on the front end? What do I need to do on the back end? What do I need to be careful of as I create this? And then over on the right side, we're trying to provide a sense of like time. How much time is this going to take? What are some prompts? What are some look-fors? And what's the amount of pre-work that needs to be done both by the teacher and maybe any prerequisite learning that needs to be done by the students? Then we jump into some specific tips on like, how do you actually go about engaging in this constructivist activity? And how are you going to showcase what's going on and celebrate the learning? Then the second page is all about like how we're assessing the learning and what we're looking for. How are we really making sure this isn't just like we drew a cute tower with a 3D pen, but how do we know we actually like embedded learning in that process? So you can see at the top, it starts with kind of ideal age ranges and some differentiation strategies you might want to think about. Excuse me. And then we talk about possible extensions about what this could look like. So we even get into things like, for upper grades, you could look at moving into Tinkercad or Fusion 360, and maybe you draw the tower that you drew with your 3D print, with your 3D pen. Maybe you have to design that tower in three-dimensional design software, something like that. And then this is the part we're really excited about that's going to be available when the app eventually releases. We've been working on putting together what we call sort of gamified skill trees. So we want to help students and teachers think about how do we assess students' proficiency with technical skills. So in this case, this is all about the 3D pen. So how are we assessing their technical skills and maybe framing this through the lens of having access to a makerspace or a fab lab, but really just having access in this case to this 3D pen would be a great example of how you could think about this. We're building out a rubric so teachers can quickly assess what students' proficiency is with the various technical components they may use in a project. And then we've been looking at the STEM essential skills and started to build out this framework, this learning framework that sort of takes the 4 C's and layers a number of strata under them so that students and teachers can really think about how are students developing those core competencies, those essential skills. How are they demonstrating mastery in things like productive collaboration or creative thinking, as you can see there? And then building along that framework specific rubrics so that teachers have tailor-made for them. Like if we're going to do this project, this ELA project with a 3D pen, what are the things I'm going to look for to see creative thinking? How do I know a student has started to develop creative thinking? And then you're going to see facilitation reminders or sentence stems at the bottom of some facilitation tips about how to continue to help students move through that learning process as they engage in this project. We've had a number of teachers working on these. I don't want to take credit for this. This is not my work or my team's work at PEF. There's a number of teachers that's been putting in a lot of hours to develop these, to get them cultivated. We're excited to get them published and shared. They will definitely be out this fall. And we're excited when that app comes out. We'll certainly distribute that and promote it through social media and across the TSIN network, as well as on all of our newsletters and sort of traditional communications medium. So I appreciate you all joining with us today. I know 45 minutes of being talked at virtually isn't particularly engaging or fun, but really appreciate you taking the time. Wish I could see, I don't even know who's here, so I can acknowledge all of our friends that are on the call this afternoon. But even though I can't see you, I saw your participation in the Padlet. I appreciate you sharing your thoughts and feedback there. I don't know that I had this on the slide, but my email address is mstone, for M for Michael, mstone @pefchattanooga.org. And the website we had all over the slides, if you go to that, you can certainly find that and reach out. My team and I would be happy to coordinate with you. We would love to continue to help spread STEM and STEAM across Southeast Tennessee and across the state. So thank you for joining us today, and thank you for being active participants. We look forward to having you apply for some of those programs we talked about, and certainly look forward to sharing some of the technology from the Lending Library with you. Thank you all.